Hello, and welcome to Abundantly Purposeful. Today, we are talking about fall and the transitions that we all go through when we're looking at entering a new season, or really kind of now, by the time this is going to show up on YouTube, we're in the midst of the fall season and thinking about the end of the year and the days are getting shorter. And so we're here today. I told Shelly, I said, I'm showing up not on full tilt today. And I just want to be here with Shelly and have these conversations and just kind of see what our thoughts are as we're going into this new transition and we're moving into fall and letting things go.
Well, and it's great to be here with everybody. And I will say what's interesting for me, and as Kristyn said, she's not here at full tilt. And I would say the same for me, but that's really true for us in general, like the unscripted conversations that we have around certain topics. And for me, seasonal change is always a disruptor for me personally. And I notice as I get older and I'm more aware, thanks to my good friend, Kristyn, and her, teaching me skills to be more aware and present, I am definitely becoming more aware of the disruptor for the seasonal changes for me. Not that that's a bad thing. It's just a transitional time that I always have to adapt to every season. And I think that's a really interesting conversation to share with others on ways to get through that, ways to just be aware of it, but also like use it to your advantage. Don't beat yourself up over it and don't feel stressed because of it, right?
Yeah, those disruptions are going to happen naturally, right? And Shelly is such a bright, summery, sunshiny kind of a person. She loves the beach. She loves the sunshine. I think too, Shelly, and tell me, I might be wrong here, but I think there's a part of you that fall, like it's gorgeous here today. The sun is shining. It's like in the high 70s. I mean, to me, that's the perfect weather. And I feel like sometimes when we go through changes, when we go through transitions, when we know what's coming up, or we feel like we know, we're trying to project what's after the initial transition, right? Like winter's coming, the days are going to be short.
Yes.
Shelly's
What's the movie?
sunshine.
Winter's coming.
Yeah.
Winter's coming, that movie. Sorry, that TV show, the TV show, Game of Thrones, Winter's coming.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to
I'm
interrupt.
But you on that.
If you Game of Throners, winter's coming. That's how I feel.
Know it.
Right.
And all of you will know it and you'll love that. And I have no idea. So, but I will tell you, it is coming. And it's that knowing, right? As you're entering fall, that like we were talking about, it might be beautiful today, but there's this sense of something is going to be lost, right? Fall is a natural time of things letting go and falling away. And that's the course of nature. And that is the way that the world goes, and that the way that it is going in a lot of ways for a lot of us. Pretty extreme changes are in our midst right now, even as citizens of this country. So I think it is one of those things where it's almost a challenge to stay present in what we do have and what's going on right now and today, and the sort of the routines and the rhythms that we have in our lives, but knowing sort of what's coming, and that it might not be something that is really lights us up. And how do we get to a point, Shelly, of really accepting that and being empowered to live today in the most full way we can?
Yeah, exactly. And that's what this is all about. And that holds for me in that I have to not get caught up, because for me, fall is a very busy time of year. Just, it becomes this, summertime is, yes, it's my favorite time of year. In fact, that's not a big, you're absolutely right. It is my favorite time. And I love the freedom of summer. And maybe it's just the idea of what it brings, it's the warmth and the being outside and the long days and things like that. But it's not that I don't like change. I do actually like change personally. And I like the fall. And like you said, the weather's great here and everything today, but it is the what's looming out there. And instead of me thinking about that, and advice for others is, let's just take the moments and make sure we're self-care has become something I'm becoming much more aware of as I've aging, and I've surrounded myself with women like Kristyn, who we remind ourselves that without self-care, what do we have, right? So taking care of ourselves, and that's as simple as thinking about every day what you can do for yourself that makes you feel good, so that it gets you out of a mood or a funk or a crazy schedule. And and that's what I try to teach people when it comes to, bringing it back to what I do for a living with money is don't get out of the funk with your money and stop thinking about it in that what happened in the past or what's horrible that could happen going forward. That's not what we want you to think about. We want you to be present with your money. We want you to be present with yourself. And it all comes back to self-care, because money is self-care, right? Thinking about what's important financially and aligning it with what really matters to you takes some of that hard work, but that's self-care. And those, once you accomplish some of these small things and you routinely do self-care, and I'm speaking from experience, both professionally and personally, you just grow so much, and you see the benefits so quickly as they add up over time.
Mm-hmm. And that's it, that's your level of self-worth and self-value, that you tend to the areas of life really well, right? That's our gift to ourselves in any area of life, is living it fully and, making good decisions that reflect our values and who we really are. And, I would encourage you too, that it really is, as we're entering this new season, it's a great time to reflect and start thinking about what is naturally falling away. And, really, this is harvest time, right? What am I grateful for? What can I appreciate today as I move forward? And how do I take care of myself well, to tie it in with the self-care piece? I think those are really important things, like going through any transition where you're not necessarily looking forward to what's coming. How do we take care of ourselves well in the midst of that? And how do we shed the things that actually need to be shed? And how do we accept the things that maybe not by choice, but they are naturally falling away as a result of this season? So we have enjoyed this conversation with you guys. And again, we're just going to come as we are. And this month's series might be a lot of that, about reflection and things like that. And my action point would be to start thinking about the things today where you feel empowered, to start learning about the things that need to fall away and allowing that to happen. Sort of a sense of allowing as we're moving through this season into the next. And Shelly, what would you recommend for people with their money as we move into fall?
So again, Kristyn mentioned something about what we've accomplished this year. I mean, think about the growth that you've accomplished this year, or the things that you've done well with your money this year. I mean, you may not think everything has been great, but there's always some highlights to everything we do in life. So think of the glass as half full when it comes to your money, and reflect on that from the year that we've just experienced so far. And then jot down some ideas that you want to accomplish before the end of the year. And, there's a lot of things that happen before the end of the year as we think about, okay, how can we maximize the rest of the year for tax benefits, with whether it's investing in retirement accounts or it's different things that you do in your business structure, things of that nature. So take the time to just focus on a few of those items that you can do before the end of the year that are positive, make a positive impact, as well as reflect on the positive things you've done the rest of the year. So those are my call to actions for this segment. And just excited to hear what you all have to say in the comments about what you're going to do in this season of the fall, and how you're going to make this a great transition into the rest of the year, which leads into the winter, which for some people is their favorite time because they love outdoor sports.
Well, we live in Colorado and we know that. That's spa season, right?
Yeah.
Well, I love that. And I love the idea, Shelly, of, guys, setting yourself up for the coming year, for 2022, by really coming into this final season of 2021 really powerfully and really focused on the things that are most important to you. We thank you so much for joining us. Again, my name is Kristyn Cozad, and this is my partner, Shelly Schell. We are happy to spend any time with you. Please subscribe to our channel to receive our weekly messages, and leave a comment if you have any ideas about a topic that you would love to engage here. We would love to hear about it. Thank you so much for joining us.